This is Atlas Launch Control at T-minus 54 minutes and counting, and everything continues to go well technically with the vehicle. We have with us right now Mike Stelzer, who is the New Horizons Missions Integration Manager. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
All right, good. Mike, you're going to talk to a short tape of the launch vehicle preparations, so we'll roll that tape right now, and if you could just watch the monitor and tell us what's going on here.
Okay, real good. We'll like to walk through how the rocket came together here at the launch site. This is a video of the Antonov transport carrier coming into the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. This is the transporter used for both the first stage booster, the Atlas booster, and the second stage, the Centaur upper stage. This is a shot of the Centaur coming off the Antonov transporter and moving over to the Spaceflight Operations Center for Atlas V back here at Launch Complex 41. That happened at the beginning of September, and about a week later the booster came in from Denver on that same transport carrier, and here it's shown being erected out at the launch pad and being carefully lowered onto the mobile launch platform. Once the Centaur finished its electrical checks back at the ASOC, it was moved out to the launch complex to the vertical integration facility, where it also was hoisted in position on top of the Atlas booster. This is a shot of it being raised, and the single RL-10 engine is shown there with the blue protective covering. This is the stage that will take this mission from Earth orbit and bring it planetary trajectory towards Pluto. After it was lowered in place, we brought the 5 solid motors out to the integration facility. This is a video of the the 5th of those solid rocket motors going into position and being installed on the forward side of the Atlas booster. Following completion of the installation, we brought the vehicle out to the launch pad, very similar to today, and did a tanking test where we demonstrated that we could safely tank the vehicle and all systems were working properly. Once we knew we had a good rocket, we brought the encapsulated payload, including the New Horizons Observatory and third stage, out to the launch pad. This is a shot of it as it's sitting at the base of the vehicle integration facility, ready to be hoisted up and put on top of the Atlas and Centaur stack. This happened about a month ago, mid-December, and since then we have electrically checked out the vehicle. It's ready for us today, and yesterday we've re-rolled it out to the launch pad, and we're sitting there counting down, ready for a good T0 later this afternoon.
Great. We're all hoping for that. Everything's continuing on schedule. In fact, we should be launching in just about an hour from now. Can you tell us a little bit about the complex integration of this vehicle? I know there were some aspects that made it a little bit more complex than normal. What was going on there?
Yes, this mission brought together 3 very different elements. Lockheed Martin provided Atlas vehicle, the largest of their fleet, the top of a Delta II rocket, a Boeing third stage, and on top of that we put this small, lightweight, 1,000-pound state-of-the-art observatory. So bringing those 3 items together, making sure each item worked with the other so we could have a successful launch today and trajectory towards that pinpoint location in space 3 billion miles away past the planet Pluto.
Well, it is a long ways away, and I know that it's going to take a very large rocket to get us to Pluto, and of course, this being a very tall vehicle, can you give us a little perspective on just how big it really is?
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to realize how big it is unless you're standing right next to it or have something to judge it against. And as you see today, it's sitting out on the launch pad, and it's not really anything out there you can judge its height. So the vehicle itself is about 200 feet tall, and so to help give us a reference point, I asked my daughter and son last night what they knew of that was about 200 feet tall that would put this in perspective, and they both responded, "Oh, Dad, that's easy. This new roller coaster, the Shrika, that opened over in Tampa, is 200 feet tall." So here we have a rocket very tall as the tallest roller coaster in Florida, and hopefully that'll help put it in perspective for.
Well, it certainly does, and this will be somewhat of a roller coaster ride for this spacecraft as we go out past lunar orbit in just about 9 hours, and then past Pluto in about, what, 13 months? I'm sorry, Jupiter in about 13 months?
Jupiter in 13 months. So, yeah, once again, this will be the fastest moving thing we've ever launched. So we look forward to lighting her off at 1:24 this afternoon and seeing a safe and successful flight.
All right, well, in just under an hour, we'll be watching that. So thank you very much for joining us, and good luck to you and your team.
Okay, thank you, Bruce.
Great. Everything is continuing well at the Launch Pad Complex 41. We are at T-minus 48 minutes and counting. This is Atlas Launch Control.